I think that confidence is one of the most misunderstood traits a person can have. If you asked someone that knows me to describe me, they would probably say I'm a pretty confident person. I'm comfortable speaking in class. I post content online, and I don't really think twice about taking up space anymore. But honestly, my confidence hasn't always looked like this, and I'm gonna give you guys two examples from my life that I think encompass this pretty well. The first moment being when I took Physics 1 in my sophomore year. We were doing a review for our midterm, and our lab instructor had given us a past exam, and he had told our class that the average for this exam was a 70%. Now, after we got through most of the exam, I was just talking with my lab group, and I just made this offhanded comment. I said, "Oh, how can anyone get a 70% on this class? I'm going to get a 0." And my lab instructor somewhat overheard this, and then he said, "Oh, Catherine, what did you just say? Can you say that again?" And I said louder for the entire class, "How could anyone get a 70% on this exam? I'm going to get a 0." And after class was over, a girl had approached me. Sorry, my eye is itchy. And after class was over, a girl approached me and she asked me if I wanted to study for the midterm together. And I said yes. And this girl is now one of my closest friends in college and is actually going to be my roommate this upcoming year. A few months after this happened, me and this friend were having a conversation about our first impressions of each other. And she brought this up. And she had told me that the only reason why she felt comfortable approaching me to ask if I wanted to study together was because of the fact that I was so vocal about being confused. She felt as if her lab group were also confused, but they just didn't want to show that they didn't know what was going on. And I remember hearing this and feeling really good about myself. I was like, wow, you think I'm genuine? That just made me feel so happy. This kind of made me realize that confidence isn't always about knowing everything. Sometimes confidence is about being okay with saying, I don't know what's going on. But if you had met me a few years ago, this would not have been the case. I was super shy in high school, and I often overthought everything I said. I would replay conversations in my head, and I think this is something that a lot of people do, which is unfortunate. I spent so much energy trying to control what people thought about me that I barely let people actually see who I was. Somewhere between that old, shy, and quiet version of me and the version of me now, something changed. And I can't tell you exactly when it changed, but I can tell you the moment where I knew I needed to make a change. I was with an ex boyfriend, and after I met his family for the first time, he had told me that his sister said that she could tell I was very insecure. I'm sorry, it makes me laugh now. But hearing that was very eye opening for me. It made me realize, oh, people can see insecurity on me. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to be perceived as a person who was insecure. When I see people who give off insecurity, I feel bad. And I didn't want people to feel bad for me because they thought I was insecure. And I'm not knocking on my ex boyfriend's sister for saying that I was insecure. At the time, I was very insecure within myself. I was like 18, I was just starting college, and I was in a relationship that wasn't very healthy. So, of course, I was insecure, and there were a lot of like problems I had. Topic for another video, guys. Anyways, I knew I had to change something in myself. Something that really helped me overcome insecurity is when I started posting content online. I used to film time lapses, or I still do. I would film time lapses of me studying to keep me off my phone, and it was really fun to just watch back. It was like satisfying. And my friend saw me do this, and she told me, "Oh, you should post these online. You can make money from that." And I listened to her and I started posting these videos online. And I don't know why But from the moment that I stopped filming these time lapses just to keep me off my phone to the moment where I started posting them online, I suddenly became insecure for some reason. Whenever I would go to the library and I would try to film myself, I felt ridiculous, which was crazy because I was doing it before, I just wouldn't post it. But now, like when I started posting them, I felt really stupid. This was something that I just had to get over, right? This was something that I just had to swallow and get over. And I'm really glad I did, because now I don't really care anymore. I'm sure there are still people that pass me in the library. I now bring a tripod to my university library and film myself studying. And I'm sure that there are people who think I look ridiculous or think, oh, who does this girl think she is? But I don't care anymore. And that really has translated to other parts of my life. I still care about what people think about me. I'm human. There are still moments where I overthink something I said, or I wonder how I came across. But it doesn't control my decisions anymore. I don't let the fear of looking stupid stop me from raising my hand. I don't let the fear of looking weird stop me from setting up a camera in my university library. And I don't let the fear of being judged stop me from becoming the person I want to be. Confidence isn't about waking up one day and never feeling insecure again. It's about deciding that your goals matter more than other people's opinions. There's a quote that I really like, and I don't know who said it first exactly, but it says that your fear of looking stupid is holding you back. And I've realized that this is very true. Every opportunity I almost missed, every video I almost didn't post, every question I almost didn't ask, it wasn't because I couldn't do them. It was because I was scared of how people would perceive me. And the truth is, if you're waiting for nobody to judge you, for you to start living your life, you're going to be waiting forever. Someone is always going to misunderstand you. Someone is always going to dislike you. Someone is always going to have an opinion about you. You don't need everyone's approval. You just need to be okay with not having it. Because the type of people who build the life that they want aren't people who are never afraid. They're the type of people who don't let fear control their decisions.